Hey everyone, we're Chris and Sandy with the Chris Benton Show, where we get up close and personal with some amazing guests throughout the entertainment industry. And today, like I said on everyone, we got a great one for you. Who do we have?
We're excited to chat with American Idol Season 20 winner Noah Thompson. From small town roots to rising country star, Noah's heartfelt music has captivated fans everywhere.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for having me.
We appreciate you coming on.
Yes, appreciate
thank
your
you,
time
guys.
today.
Yeah,
Now-
thank you all.
Now, your song Upbringing, we've heard that it's really resonated with fans. Can you share the inspiration behind it and how it reflects where you are in your journey right now?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, the initial idea of Upbringing, how it came about, man, was honest to God. I when I first got off American Idol, you have a whole team of people in your corner, and you got a record deal, you got a booking agent, you got all these things, and I was just a kid, and I didn't really know how to handle all that, and I didn't really know. I couldn't kind of take all that in at once. It was just a lot on me.
Mhm.
But like throughout dealing with that, there was probably about a year or two into it. The label that I was with at the time, they had referred to me as I'm not even going to say this on camera. But they called me. They basically said that I was a punk rich kid from Kentucky. Is what they called me.
Oh wow.
And
Oh, wow.
yeah. So man, and that's just me being honest. I
Yeah.
held on to that. I held on to that for about 2 years, and
Wow.
I don't take stuff lightly. So I held on to that stuff. And it's hard. It's like obviously you don't want to hear things like that about yourself, and it was hard to hear that. But like now, it's something that's like, I look back at that. It's like for you guys to think that was who I was. You know what I mean? It's like it's just funny. But like realistically, man, I held on to that for a long time, and a bunch of other things have happened too. That kind of put me in this dark place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just doing a lot of stupid things, man, and making a lot of bad decisions for about a year of my life, and I just, I hated where I was at, and that song kind of was just the result of that, But it realistically, I felt like I needed to write that song for a very long time, and it was something that I think I had to go through all those motions to do that, though. I think I needed to go through all those things to get that song out. So I'm really happy with how it came out, though, because I think it said everything I needed it to say at the time. It was my like kind of statement song. So
Mhm.
Now,
yeah.
also, you talked about a little deja vu moment when you were filming that.
Hmm.
So did filming that change your view, or at least made you look at your past a little differently?
Yeah, the moment I kind of got, this whole deja vu thing was like watching the dad and his two sons crawl through the window. You know what I mean? I was like, God, man, we were standing there looking, and I was like, God, this is wild, but I'm getting deja vu. It's like, wow. Um, but it honestly, man, uh, my family, my dad and everything, they know how we grew up. They understand it too, like they get where I'm coming from and why I'm saying these things now. And I think that was probably part of me. I probably didn't want to, I guess I didn't want to talk about those things,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but I think truth be told, I think it's almost impossible to be a true artist, to be who you
Makes it
really
more
are.
authentic too.
Yeah, man, and be to find that group of people that you truly want to relate to deep down, whether you play music for a year or two, you know what I mean? But those people you sing those songs to, they understood those lyrics, they got it, they felt everything you were saying, and that's why they came to your show, and that to me, especially now more than ever, has been my most important thing, and I've kind of tried to hold on to that more than anything. But yeah, man, like that was just how I grew up in a lot of ways, and that every lyric in that song is true. That is how I grew up, and like
Your song Demons in My Whiskey, that really touched
mhm.
me because I went through 19 years of addictions.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that, man.
And so I've been sober 17 years now. But we
That's
just crossed
amazing,
17
dude.
years.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's awesome. Hey, congratulations, man. That's amazing. I love
So
that.
what inspired that
Cool.
song? How heavy was that for you?
That one particularly, that one's really that's about a buddy of mine, and I wouldn't even say the dude was an addict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He you know, I come from a family of addicts. You know, my parents, my grandparents, everything. You know what I mean? It's just a whole long line of addicts and alcoholics and everything. So I get it, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, my buddy though, man, you know, he passed away like you know, just this past month, last year, you know,
Oh
a
wow.
little over a year ago now, and he right before he had died, though, you know, there were plenty of moments with all of us. We'd all be drinking and hanging out when I would come home and get to see him every now and then, you know. And it would just be just to hang out, you know. That was just that was our thing. That's what we all did. We drunk and we hung out, you know, not getting like, you know, out of our minds, just drinking a
Yeah.
beer here and there. But there were so many moments where like, you know, he would be kind of out of his mind and like, you know, passed out drunk, whatever. And him and I'd be sitting there talking, and he'd just be telling me, you know, about how he hates life, and you know, all these things that he had going on, and you know, work and just everything. And it was like, man, it, not much longer after that, he ended up passing away. You know what I mean? And
Wow.
my brother and I were in Tennessee at the time, and I just drove home that night. That night, and he was supposed to come up at our house, and he ended up passing away that night. And it was the craziest thing. Then I went to Nashville after we buried him, like a couple weeks later, and it was all I could think about. You know, it was just that, and how I couldn't believe we just buried him and all this and that. And I was like, you know, man, he's not the type of guy and want me to sit there and write some soppy, sad song. He was he was the most, you know, energetic, just the craziest, most life guy you've ever met in the world. He was
Wow.
just into everything, craziest guy, the best guy in the world. But like you know, he just struggled with stuff, man. And I loved him to death. Though he's like my brother, you know. And but we wrote that, and it's really kind of a more of a dedication to him, you know. And I wrote it, you know, as in, you know, this is who he was, you know, and that's what the song's really about. So
You know, as an artist and a songwriter, that's kind of a big weight on your shoulders, ain't it? To think of the songs that you're going to do, that they're going to touch people in ways that you'll never imagine.
yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think, you know, like I said, going through the whole motion of becoming independent and everything like that also was such an important time for me, because like I didn't have, you know, this initial idea on what it was that I wanted to say or who I wanted to be. You know, you come to Nashville and you're expected of by so many people, you know, especially when you're automatically in a room full of, you know, all this whole team of people that have so many expectations out of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you have no idea what's really going on. You know, you're just kind of there, just doing the thing, and that's how it was for me, anyways. I'm sure in other occasions, people can handle it a lot better than I did. I didn't handle it well, um, but you know, I'm just kind of a work in progress, man. I'm just learning as I go. You
Aren't
know,
we all?
yeah, 100%. And you know, all these songs wouldn't have come out the way that they have had I not went through all these things
Yeah.
though. And I know that, you know, and like I'm so grateful for these songs. Like I love these songs. Every song I'm doing, it's like I'm proud of that song. You know, the song feels good. I really hope and truly hope that people can listen to it and be, you know, take you know, listen to it and really somehow take relatability to it in any way they
Yeah.
can. You know, that's my end goal, man. You know, and at the end of the day, if it's just 5 or 10 people that are listening to it relating, that's okay. You know, it's I know it's real music, and it's real music to me
Yeah.
and it's like that's I think that's really what matters, you know. So
Love that. Let's go back now. When did it click for you that this could be a career for you?
oh man, I guess after I got off Idol, you know, I mean I got it
No, no, even before that, you
I
didn't.
got it in my mind that I'm like, oh God, hell, you know, I want American Idol, I'm good to go now. But realistically, that's not the case. You know, Lauren Lena said it the best, man, in an interview. I was reading about a lot of things at one point in time in my life, and I remember her saying, American Idol is a very quick way to fame.
It's a
For
starting point.
it's a start, yeah, it's a quick way to fame, but it is not a quick way to success. You know what I mean? And that's it's so true.
I
It's
think sometimes it's harder.
yeah, I think in a sense I do too, man. You know, it for me,
Mhm.
it's definitely better because of the fact that, I mean, I know for sure that I know for a fact that I would have never been able to move to Nashville, or I never would
Yeah.
have,
Yeah.
I would have never took that chance. I would have never, stepped out of my comfort zone to
Right.
even, even try, had American Idol not happened. But for others, maybe so. Yeah, 100%. For me, particularly, it opens so many doors that I would have never been able
Yeah.
to do on, in my own, in my own mind. I think that it really, it's done a lot for me for sure. So I'm always grateful for American Idol, man. But yeah, it's got its, it's like
And you
it's
got
just
to run with it again.
yeah,
Like when you win, or even if you come in top 5 or whatever,
yeah,
it's not about the winning or the coming in top 5. It's about what you do afterwards. Like when you
100%.
look at Gabby Barrett's season
Yes,
Idol,
yeah,
she came
yeah,
in third,
yes,
but when she got off Idol, she ran,
yes.
and
It's just
she just
stop.
never stopped.
Right, and that's where it counts. That's where it counts, man. That's how, as you just you gotta keep doing it. You can't, you basically, you just can't stop, because at the end of the day, my manager has to remind me of that all the time. Honestly, I really kind of, hang on, I don't know what this guy's doing, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem.
I think I'm good. This truck's being weird. I'm sorry, y'all. No, yeah, like, so, I think that's really, yeah, what it comes down to. I mean, if you see so many of the Idol winners and people that were on Idol that have just kind of fallen
Faded
off.
away.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And maybe they just had changes of hearts, and I
Yeah.
can understand that,
Mhm.
honestly. It's like this, I mean, the industry is just hard, man, and you're not going to get treated the best. It's just, and that's just the reality of it. It's like, unless nobody wants anything to do with you until everybody wants something to do with you. You know what I mean? And that's, I've been told that forever, and that's just the truth about it.
It's funny you say that, because I remember there was an old saying. And this is so true, that when you're first starting out, if you got this crazy dream, that first people will tell you you can't it won't happen.
Right.
Don't get your hopes up. Then when it starts to happen, they tell you it won't last.
Right.
And then when it's lasting, they end up telling you were lucky.
Yeah.
And then the last phase is when you become big, they start telling people, I always knew they'd make it.
I always knew they'd make it. Yeah, I always knew that. That's seriously, dude. I mean, even, just the little bit of fame that I had off the show. That's how that was all the stuff that messed with me. It's like I had so many
Wow.
people in my life that I was, all of a sudden, everybody's coming out of the woodworks.
Oh, wow.
Everybody wants a little piece of you. Everybody wants to. Oh God,
They want to be in their glory, but not in their grind.
yeah. Can you do this? Can you do that? Oh God, no. Oh God, don't you remember when we freaking graduated kindergarten together? No, I don't. You know what I mean? All this stuff, man, and like that kind of stuff really messed with me. It really
Yeah.
did, and
Yeah.
I didn't handle any of that stuff well. I was like,
Wow.
people for people to
You don't
treat
know who to
me that
trust.
way. Yeah, it's hard to know who to trust. It's like, how can me personally, man, I would never treat anybody like that ever.
Yeah.
So like,
Mhm.
I mean that I'm such a to myself guy. I've been this way my entire life. I've never changed. You know what I mean? I've always been that way. I've just kind of, before, if I would have never gotten on Idol, man, I'd be back home. I'd be back home in my shed drinking by myself, drinking a beer, and just, I mean, doing something with my hands. You know what I mean? Literally, that's
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
kind of stuff I enjoy to do. Working on a motorcycle. It's like that was me, man. That
Yeah.
kind of stuff I did, and I just didn't get so caught up in worldly things, man.
Yeah.
Like I didn't.
Mhm.
So yeah, man, you come from this small town, and then all of a sudden everything switches up overnight, and then everybody's treating you different, and all these things. Just, it's hard not to get caught up in that, and I did
Yeah.
for a long time. But like now,
Wow.
it's, you realize a lot of things over time, and you learn, you
Trying to
grow.
find yourself now.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. And,
Speaking of all that, we kind of hit a little bit on this a little bit already, but I want to go a little deeper.
Yeah.
As you know, a lot of people, they see the glory in what you do, but they don't see the grind, the sacrifice, the tears, the struggles it takes to get to any level within music. And nobody really talks about this side of it.
Yeah.
we always do because I think it's the most important thing to talk about.
Yeah,
So
man.
tell us about the grinds. And I know we hit it a little bit a while ago, but just really, what is that grind being since idle?
It's God, it's a lot. It really is. I mean, words can't even describe it, man. I mean, you're me particularly, I'm trying to explain this the best way I
Yeah.
can possible, but like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
being on the show in general for me was a grind. Like I had my little boy at home, all these things. I was torn between that and then next thing you know, I win the show, then I'm moving to Nashville and all these things just happened all at once. I'm learning how to do social media. I'm learning, I'm trying to run back. I'm on a plane. I'm flying here. All these things. And for other people, it might be different circumstances. I mean, you might just
Yeah.
be really, really
Yeah.
starting out where you're having to drive your own van back and forth and everything. We've done that before too. You know what I mean? But it's like
Mhm.
that's how I started out. That's all I really knew was like I'm on a plane, I'm flying here, I'm playing this show, making however much money, flying back, doing this and that, you know what I mean? That's how
Yeah.
it was for a minute. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But it's like that still in itself it's all a grind, man. Everything's a grind. It's everything about it is. It's like you're constantly, your mind's never stopping, no matter what. I could go home and sit down. I can go back home and be with my family and dude, I'm still here. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm like, people be sitting there talking to me at home, and I'm like, I'm zoning out in outer space. I'm always thinking. It's nearly impossible not to think all the time. I think I have gray
Yeah.
hairs in my head. Like seriously, you know what I mean? Just quite literally because it's a lot. It really is a
Yeah.
lot. You're always constantly thinking, what can I do? What can I do next? What's the
Yeah.
next song? All these things. I gotta blow up on TikTok, all kinds of stuff. It's just everything kind of into one, and
Wow.
yeah, so it is a lot, man. It's a lot to be an artist in general, and I mean, if you want it, you gotta really want it. I know that's for sure. You got to really want it because it is a lot.
Love that.
Yeah.
So, um, people also see you, but they don't see the team behind you. In our opinion, teams never get any love. On
No,
our
they
show,
don't.
in our show, they get a little bit of love. So take a few moments and just tell us about the team that kind of helps you be who you are.
Yeah, man. Dude, I honestly I got a lot of people to thank. In different stanzas, like coming off of the show. Um, I had a whole team of people. I had a booking agent, all kinds of stuff, everything. We parted ways in a lot of ways with a
Yeah.
bunch of people just because I needed time and it just didn't feel right. A lot of things didn't feel right. I never had the opportunity to go in and say hi, and like really get to know that person that I was
Yeah.
trusting
Yeah.
everything I did
Mhm.
with. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
That wasn't something that was really an option, and I felt like not that it wasn't an option, it's just that something that it didn't feel like it was I didn't feel like I was in the right place to say that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, personally.
That makes sense.
That does
Yeah,
make sense.
and yeah, it was just it was just a lot, man. And like, but those people still, man, they got me where I'm at, and like it's put me in the position I'm in now. But currently, in all seriousness, the only person I really have to thank is my manager right now, because she is an absolute baller, like for real. Like she is like for real, like man, she's figuring it all out as we go, and we both are, you know what I mean. But she literally, quite literally, does everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just got a new booking
Mhm.
agent. You know what I mean? We're just kind of taking baby steps with it all, though.
Yeah.
Writing the best music and taking it day by day, and any opportunity that's available, we're taking it. We're doing it all. We're just staying busy, keeping the grind going. Like I said, trying to stay up to date on everything, keep people updated, everything. And but it's fun, man. You wouldn't trade it for the world. But, like she is absolutely a baller, and like
Oh, wow.
does not take no for an answer. That's how she is. So
Love
I couldn't have asked for a better manager.
that. That's
Honestly,
awesome.
I couldn't have. I didn't think I'd ever really find one. You know what I mean? Because like I mean, she got actually. I met her throughout my label experience after the 19 recordings and stuff like that. I met her throughout that, and we just kind of hit it off,
Oh,
and
wow.
we just hit it off. And
Oh, wow.
she wasn't my manager or anything at the time. I just kind of explained to her, this is how I feel. Like I mean, like I just kind of took talked to her about all of it, and she was just like a consultant, I believe, for the label. And I just told her everything, you know, we just kind of hit it off. And then from then on out,
Oh wow,
she's been working hard since. So, yeah.
that's awesome. It's great to
Yeah.
have a great team.
Yes,
She's good, man. She is.
Speaking of teams, we have a third co-host, our
we
little,
do.
our
He
13-year-old.
just turned 13.
He just
Aw,
turned
man.
13,
ago.
and
Aw,
she's
man,
gonna
that's
go
awesome.
get him
I'll get him
because he always asks a
Christopher.
couple questions too.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
but in the meantime, while we're waiting on him, let's talk about your son Walker a little bit.
Yeah, man.
What do you want his view to be of your journey when he learns what the meaning of your songs are?
You know, man, I think that it'll be, you know, at a certain point when Walker is at an age where he can have a better understanding of, you know, how I grew up compared to, you know, how he grew up. You know,
Mhm.
I think the songs will make a little bit more sense to him. He listens to them, but you know, he has no idea for sure. But like, um, I think he'll have a better understanding as to where I'm coming from, you know, as I'll be able to kind of sit and explain to him, you know, yeah, man, you know, like, you know, this is what Papa did with me, you know, and, or whatever, you know, this is the kind of stuff we, you know, we did to survive, you know, because we had to, you know, this is,
Yeah.
because we didn't really grow up with, we didn't have money, you know, it was like, well, this is the kind of stuff we did, you know, we had to in order to survive. When he did it to make sure we were fed and, you know, or whatever, you know, those are things that we did. And, you know, obviously your little childhood has not been that way, and that's all right. We're just kind of different how we grew up, you know what I mean? But I hope that, man, I hope in all the music, I hope that he just realizes that out of everything I've done here already from this point forward is, you know, I hope he just sees the hard work and dedication in it, and that he can kind of see like, wow, Dad, you know, you really, you know, you did something, man, you know, at the end of the day, and like hopefully he can kind of take that and, you
Love
know,
that.
roll with that, man. Yeah. So that's my absolute, that's my life goal at the end of the
And
day.
that
Is him, you
your
know.
son,
What's
Christopher.
up,
All right.
man? How you
Hey,
doing?
Noah.
How
Doing
you doing,
good?
bud? Yeah, man. You okay?
Yeah.
What's your
What's your,
name?
huh?
What's your
Uh,
name?
Christopher?
Christopher. Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you too. What's your favorite food?
Favorite food? Oh man, dude, I've been I mean, right now, just think. I don't know, man. I mean, I guess I have to go with steak. To be honest with you. I eat the crap out of steak all the time. I've been trying to get a little bit. I've been trying to get a little bit bigger because I'm so small. I feel like I'm just losing weight all the time. So I'm trying to pack down some
Yeah.
steaks every night. You know, but it's
Yeah.
rough on your stomach.
Yeah. My favorite food's pizza.
Pizza? Yeah, I like pizza too, man. I like
Yeah.
I got burnt out on pizza though, man, because I used to eat it so much. But like I like pizza though. If I ate some pizza right
Yeah.
now, I'd love it. But I used to eat hot pockets all the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. All right. I got another question. So, what's
Yeah.
the coolest thing that's happened to you since Idol?
Coolest thing that's happened to me since Idol. Man, I mean, I think that I've got a lot of cool opportunities to do. I would probably guess the coolest thing I've gotten to do though, would have to be I played my first arena show like a year and a half ago or something like that. I played my first arena
Yeah.
show with it was Chase Matthews and me,
Oh wow.
and it was really cool, man. It was close to my hometown, and Chase came home. Chase came back there, and we kind of did. It was like a co-headline thing, and it was neat, man. It was really cool. It was
Yeah.
like, you know, you can look up and see all the lights. It was neat. It was really cool. That's probably the coolest thing that I can think of right now, anyways.
On the spot, huh?
Yeah, on the spot.
Yeah. All right. That's it.
All right, buddy.
Right.
Nice to meet you, man.
It's nice to meet you too.
He,
Bye.
he loves to
Thanks,
jump
man.
on for a couple questions.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's cool.
So, what's the biggest lesson you've learned through this whole process of your journey, or at least one of the biggest lessons?
Yeah, man. I think, in all seriousness, I think just to take things as they come, you know, and just kind of, because I think that, you know, for a long time, you know, it's so hard to not sit down here in this town and just not compare yourself to everything and everybody that's, you know, doing this while you're doing this, you know, or like
Yeah.
they got this, you know what I mean? Like why can't I do that? You know what I mean? Or whatever, you know what I mean? And you just watch it happen nonstop. It's like a circle. It's a never ending cycle. It just happens all the time. You just watch it, and you're proud for people. I genuinely am. It's not like a jealousy thing. It's just, man, it's
Yeah,
like you're just
I get it.
you watching it happen. You're like, you can't compare yourself to what everybody else has got going on, man. You just gotta, I think, yeah, like I said, I think what I've learned from that is just to, take things as they come and just, roll with the punches and, keep on keeping on. And honestly, because that's all you can do at the end of the day. That's all any of us can do. Even, I mean,
Exactly.
besides the industry, it's just to keep going and, never quit.
I love that.
Yeah.
So if you could co-write with any artist, who would it be and what would you want to write about?
Oh man. Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good question. That's a really good question. Who would it be? Well, I mean, God, man, on Morgan Wallen, he writes some pretty good songs, don't
Yeah,
he?
he does.
Yes.
He writes some real good songs.
There.
I mean,
Mhm.
I'd have honestly. I mean, Morgan's one of my big inspirations in a lot
Love
of
that.
ways. So,
Love that.
I mean, as far as that goes, I'd love to write a song with him. Get in the room with him.
That'd be a good
I'm
one.
sure. I'm sure we'd write a breakup song. But
Yeah,
it'd probably be a good one though.
it
But
was.
I don't know if it'd be Morgan, man. That's a kind of tough question. But like I'm inspired by so many different people, and I think it's nice right now that like I've gotten the opportunity to write so many other songs, and
Love it.
all these songs have just kind of fell into place, and uh, they just they show a different side of me, and uh, it's unique to me though, and like I think it's neat for people to see that side of myself also, because I was just I put out my first project and it didn't really, make sense as to what, I wanted it to be or where I wanted it to go. It's just like
Yeah.
now it's more of like a concept album I've been writing for, and you can just kind
Yeah.
of watch all these songs
Yeah.
unveil, and you can watch more and more people listen and love the songs more and more that they come out. You know what I mean? And it just makes sense. So
Yeah.
So where do you want to be in 5 years?
5 years. Man, hopefully, dude. I'm hoping and praying to the good Lord that I'm still doing this in general. You know what I mean? I would absolutely love to be, kind of. Hopefully, man. We're really kind of popping off by that time. We're doing some
Yep.
cool stuff, and we got us some hit songs going on and things like that. That'd be really nice. But at the end of the day, I'm grateful to be here, man, and I know that I'm getting to do something that a lot of people get to do. So like
Yeah.
like I said, you roll with the
You
punches.
treasure it.
Yeah, 100%. And you just keep on keeping on. I grew up with a dad that absolutely was so spiritual and just very, very spiritual and just a lover of music,
Kept you
man.
grounded.
He loved music. And so I grew up around that, and like I fell in love with it too. You know what I
Wow.
mean? In my own way, but also in a sense through him. So like obviously never thought this would happen. So to him and we look at this whole opportunity as like a thing where like this is crazy that you're even
Yep.
that American Idol happened. You know what I mean, or whatever. But
And then
like
win it.
yeah, to win it, you know what I mean? Like we never expected something like that, obviously, because like, man, we really, man, we've all kind of come from nothing, and nobody really does stuff like that. So like, in a sense, me getting to do that was obviously for myself and my family, but in a big part, in a big way, it's for him, because it's just like, that was something we always shared together.
That is
Music.
awesome.
Yeah.
So let's look down the road and let's say you are a success on a grand scale. Whatever that looks like for you, you can say you've made it.
Mhm.
Along this journey, what do you hope you never forget?
Uh, I like to say that like I'm a very simple guy in general, and like I've always been that way. I don't think that'll ever change. I think that I just I don't ever want to forget that who I am.
Yeah.
Realistically, I just who I truly am deep down inside, because I know my heart, you know, and I know that I'm not this, you know, I don't desire for, I do not desire for a big mansion or like, you know, the nicest truck in town or whatever. It's just not, that's not things that I realistically want, you know what I mean? Or,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
whatever. It's not all the money in the world. It's just, I don't really care for things like that, you know? I think, I think that I want to always stay that way, and that will always be something that I keep myself grounded about, because it's like I think that's the most important way to be, especially in this, because you can lose your mind doing this stuff. You know what I mean? And you've seen so many people do it. Probably people that say the exact same things I say, and the next thing you know, they're out, doing whatever. You know what I mean? So like it's just you can get so caught up in that. I don't think I think in so many ways I would obviously, help my family out in so many with I had the money to do it, you know what I mean? But like I just I don't ever want to lose sight in the fact that, I've been given an opportunity that not a lot of people get to do, man, and like I'm doing something not a lot of people get to do, and I don't ever want to change just because I've been given something that not everybody gets to do. You know what I mean?
Yep, love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So I've got one last question. I
Yeah.
always like to end on this note.
Yeah.
What advice would you give that person that wants to do what you do?
Man, just to honestly just have fun with it. That's I mean, I think that's the best advice I could give. I think that's the best advice I could really give anybody. I mean, my journey through Idol, I didn't try to, I didn't really try to enjoy the process as much as I probably should have. I struggled with, understanding why I was there the whole time, or all kind, just everything. I asked myself every question in the book. You know what I mean? And I wish I wouldn't have done that, because like it was such a fun thing, and if you really tried to enjoy it and open up, you would enjoy it. It's just I think that by me being so far away from home and from my little boy and everything, it was really kind of a mind game with me more than anything. But man, overall, I've had more fun. I've had more fun this year than I have in my entire career so far. Because like it's just been, yeah, it's stressful and there's so much stuff going on. But if you don't, sometimes you just got to take time away either way, and
Yeah,
just put your phone down every now and again or whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever it takes. But like, you got to have fun, because if you're not having fun, I mean,
why do
if
it?
it's don't let people take the love out of the music, 'cause that's, I mean, the music has to breathe, man. And I've been saying that recently. I don't really know why, but it does. It has to breathe. You know what I mean? Like it has to. It's like you can't constantly rush and force everything into one. It's just not going to work. Like music has to. It's got to breathe, and you got to breathe. You got to take a step back and just like say, okay, what do I want to say? And you got to enjoy it, because if you're not enjoying it, then if you're not loving what you're doing, then I mean, you can't let people steal the joy out of it. You know what I mean? You just got to take it one step at a time.
So tell everybody how they can find you.
Yeah, man, you guys can find me on Instagram at Noah Thompson Music, Facebook, just Noah Thompson, I believe. But make sure everything's got the blue check mark. If it ain't got a blue check mark, keep swiping. And TikTok, if we still have TikTok, I think it's about to end. I think it's pretty much gone at this point. I'm not really sure. But yeah, everything is basically either Noah Thompson, but everything's got the blue check mark, and then Noah Thompson Music. So yeah,
Love that.
appreciate you.
We enjoyed having you on the show, and you're always
Yes.
welcome to come back anytime.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. That means a lot.
Appreciate your time today.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you guys.